Who's the biggest compulsive liar you've ever met? Calvin couldn't stop lying to the point that we think he had a medical disorder. He'd walk into homeroom wearing clearly knockoff Jordans and tell everyone his dad just bought him 3 pairs of the real ones, but he was saving them for special occasions. We couldn't care less if he wore Shaqs. He chose to make a big deal about his shoes. The dude was obsessed with making people think he was rich and connected. The lies started small. He'd say his family had Lakers season tickets even though he lived 2 hours from LA. Then he'd claim his uncle was a movie producer who worked with Marvel, but the stories kept getting bigger. He said his parents owned a yacht in Marina del Rey. He said they had a vacation home in Aspen where celebrities would ski. He even claimed his sister was dating some TikTok star none of us had heard of. Calvin wanted so badly to be part of the popular crowd. He'd hover around their lunch table pretending to text on his cracked iPhone 8 while they had the newest models. He'd laugh at all their jokes and offer to get them into exclusive parties that obviously didn't exist. The popular kids caught on pretty quick that Calvin was full of it, but instead of calling him out, they decided it was more fun to see how far he'd go. Alonzo asked Calvin about his supposed mansion in the hills. Calvin went off about how it had 8 bedrooms and a movie theater and an infinity pool overlooking the city. Alonzo asked what street it was on. Without missing a beat, Calvin said it was on Mulholland Drive right next to some famous rapper's house. Then Tiffany jumped in asking about the pool. Calvin described this massive pool with a waterfall and underwater speakers and LED lights that changed colors. The popular kids would test him constantly. They'd ask him to show pictures, but he'd always have an excuse. His phone was dead. His mom didn't like him posting their house online. They'd invite him to hang out just to see what excuse he'd make for why they couldn't go to his place. The construction workers were redoing the kitchen. His parents were hosting a charity event. Calvin kept digging himself deeper. He told Emma Rodriguez that his dad could get her modeling contracts. He told Abram Washington that his family had courtside seats. He promised Ashley Kim that his mom knew her favorite singer. Every lie required more lies to support it. He'd memorized layouts of real mansions from Zillow listings. He studied Instagram accounts of rich kids to copy their stories. By May, everyone knew Calvin was completely full of it. Even the freshmen would laugh when he walked by, but Calvin couldn't stop himself. The more people doubted him, the bigger his lies became. He said his family was friends with the governor. He said they owned a private jet. Then came the last week of school. Southern California was having this brutal heat wave with temperatures hitting over 100 degrees. Everyone was miserable and sweaty. During lunch, Alonzo mentioned how hot it was and how amazing a pool party would be. He looked right at Calvin and said it was too bad nobody had a pool big enough for everyone. Calvin took the bait immediately. He started going on about how his family's pool was perfect for a party. He described the sound system and the cabanas with air conditioning. He said his parents were going out of town that weekend and he could totally throw a party. The popular kids acted super interested. Tiffany said it would be the perfect way to end the school year. Before Calvin could backtrack, the whole cafeteria was listening. People were pulling out their phones ready to save the address. Emma asked how many people could come. Abram asked if they should bring anything. Calvin was trapped. His face turned red and I could see him sweating through his shirt. But instead of admitting the truth, he doubled down. Yeah, everyone can come. I'll text you all the address Friday morning. The whole school buzzed about Calvin's pool party for the next 2 days. People who'd never talked to him were suddenly acting friendly. Girls who'd ignored him were asking what they should wear. Everyone kept asking for the address, but he said he wanted to text it Friday so his parents wouldn't find out early. Friday morning came. The temperature was already in the 90s. Everyone had their phones out waiting. At exactly 9 a.m., Calvin sent a group message to basically the whole school with an address in the Hollywood Hills. People screamed with excitement. They loaded into cars with coolers and towels. The popular kids made sure everyone knew to meet there at noon. What Calvin had done was find a real mansion address from a luxury real estate site. He figured everyone would see the gate was locked and assume the party was canceled. He planned to say his parents came home early, but he didn't count on how determined everyone was to swim that day. When the first cars showed up, the gate was actually open because the landscapers were working. Kids started pouring onto the property thinking Calvin had left it open for them. They ran around looking for the pool. They knocked on doors and peered through windows. Within 20 minutes, the cops showed up. 6 patrol cars found over 100 high school kids trespassing. The owners were some investment banker couple who were beyond pissed. Kids were getting detained and parents were getting called. The whole thing made the local news. Calvin never showed up to school after that. He deleted every social media account. His Instagram disappeared. His Snapchat was gone. I heard his family enrolled him in a charter school 30 miles away. He basically had to restart his whole life because he couldn't stop lying about having things he didn't have.